Perfect. So I'll just start. All right, welcome everybody. Today we have our amazing lenders from Atlantic Bay, Kendra and Mark McCormick. Before we get started, I want you all to know why we brought these two on. I have had a relationship now with Kendra. Has it been like 7 years, Kendra?
Yeah, I believe so.
Almost 7 years, and met her a while ago, and then Mark joined her recently, but
Yeah, about
what
3 years ago.
It's been
3 years
about three
ago.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what I can say about these two is, and for all 7 years that I've known Kendra, is they're just such great supporters of not only our group, but just the agent community. And what I love about Kendra and Mark is they're always educating. It's like we've all had the lenders that come and, they tell you how great they are and, all the wonderful things they're going to do. However, how do they go above and beyond? And what I'm excited to have them present today is a class that is specific to Atlantic Bay and was created just for realtors. And Kendra and Mark are going to facilitate that today to teach us how we can use ChatGPT in our business, how we can attract more buyers and sellers, and through social media. And not only are they teaching it, you're going to see this is just the buzz. This is like if you don't accept AI into your business, you are going to fall so far behind. And I know people are like hesitant to even start using it, but it has changed our world. And I can't wait to see what Kendra and Mark bring today. So welcome, Kendra and Mark.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Tina. So I'd say before we get started, for those that are on live or watching the recorded version, I recommend opening up. I have this slide open. If you've not been on ChatGPT yet, I think it's great if you go through this and it's interactive. So go to the website. You can see it up at the top in green, chat.openai.com. You might have to register if you've never been on it before. So you'll put in your email address and you'll create a password. It'll save that. So every time you use it, again, you should be able to log right in under your user. But it helps as we're going through this for you to kind of play with some of the examples we go through and kind of see it in real time. So with that being said, just a quick, 60-second, I want to go back to the beginning, commercial about us. Yes, we've been working with Tina's group for 7 years. So gosh, we have really seen her transform her business in unbelievable ways. And kind of what we're known for, obviously being a local lender, but what her team loves and the other realtors that we work with is, I'd say the biggest things are we can close unconventional and FHA loans in 14 days from contract. So we're winning so many deals, even going up against cash because of that. The other huge thing is we have our own appraisers. So we also rescue a lot of deals because having experienced appraisers in this market that we've handpicked that have been doing that for 20 or 30 years makes a tremendous difference. We're available, a lot of lenders say that, but we're not bankers. We're empty nesters. You can get us 7 days a week, nights, weekends.
Definitely.
So that's when things happen.
We're available when you and your clients need us, and we're both in industries that aren't 9 to 5, as we all are aware of. So it could be 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. If you need us, we'll respond, and we respond. Texting is probably the best way to get a hold of us, and
You'll see our
respond
numbers at
really
the end
quickly.
too. Yes. So for those, I think most of you have heard of ChatGPT, whether you're utilizing it or not. But in a nutshell, it's artificial intelligence, and all of us have been using it for years, whether we realized it or not. Think about when you go online for customer service and you think you're talking to, an employee at Apple. Well, it's really artificial intelligence. Or think of Alexa. Examples like that are all artificial intelligence based. But what we're going to go through today is going to be more ChatGPT's platform now is more based on taking a human approach in the responses, and it goes through in seconds and analyzes everything out there on the internet to come back to you with human-like responses on the website to help you in any aspect. I'll give you an example. We've got a daughter that just graduated from App State. I said, start using ChatGPT, because all she's doing is interviewing and cover letters. You know, it's kind of a game changer, kind of helping you with things like that. Another example, unrelated to real estate, which obviously what we're going to dig in deep here. We just planned a trip for our anniversary in the fall to Seattle, which we've never been to. I typed in, plan me a 4-day itinerary on these dates, and it told us day by day everything to do in literally 30 to 40 seconds. It's unbelievable.
Now, what's really interesting is it's owned by OpenAI, and it's a platform that was developed in 2015. And anything that Elon Musk touches seems to turn to gold, because this is one of his creations, along with a gentleman named Sam Altman in 2015. And you know, within 5 days of the rollout, they had 1 million users, and within 2 months, they had 100 million users.
And if you look at this slide, it took the internet 4 years to reach 1 million, which is what ChatGPT did in 5 days. It's unbelievable. So the next one, I think, that just beat it might have been Threads, but it's just, this is the future. And people ask right now, what does it cost? Well, the great thing is it's free. Will it be free forever? I highly doubt it. So I recommend, with all the nuggets you get out of this training, to kind of utilize them as soon as possible. I hope it stays free. There are some premium versions out there, but I'll be honest, you don't need to be paying for this. Everything you can possibly want, if you had that website open and you registered, you can access it for free at the moment. So again, this is the slide I had up in the beginning. If you're not there yet, open a second browser and go to chat.openai.com. And you will set up an account. They're only going to want your email and you to create a password. And once it's set up, you'll access it all the time. Very easy. And some examples, I kind of already mentioned the capabilities and the examples. We're going to really focus on how to utilize this for your real estate business. But when you enter a prompt, which shows on the website down at the bottom, you type it in, it'll respond within seconds to the answer, and then you can keep elaborating. You can review what they've written and say, well, can you make that funnier? Can you
make that shorter?
Can you add the location of Raleigh, North Carolina? You can keep customizing it without having to type the whole prompt over from the beginning. And you also can ask prompts to be very specific in many different ways. You know, what are your thoughts on something? Is option 1 or option 2 better? You can ask for yes, no prompts, fill in the blank prompts. One thing I like, if you look at the bottom one on this screen, this is good for me that I'm a little bit reactive sometimes, and I need to take a minute to digest and maybe think of a really good response. So if you've got a client that is upset about something, maybe you get the inspection report back, or something else along the lines. Maybe before you reach out, or maybe you've gotten a brief response in a text, and you might want to say to your client, I'm going to call you at 2 o'clock today, and we're going to discuss it. You could literally put that scenario into ChatGPT and say what the complaint is and how you should respond. You can take it a step further. I know one thing that's very popular, especially in real estate, is disc profiling. So if you have a good idea of what type of client you have, what your buyer is, you can say, how would I answer and respond to this complaint for a high D personality? You'll be amazed. Wow. So we can really, I mean, you can keep customizing it. You can ask for predictions about forecasting, opinions, explanations, comparatives. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. Once you get on there, if you haven't yet, and start actively using it, you're not gonna stop. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Kendra,
Yes.
I put in, just for fun, just to give them some ideas.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat, but I just put, you know, for people relocating, like Carrie, like if I needed to see the top 5 neighborhoods between 700,000 and 1 million that offered a pool in Cary, which one are they? And that is so great when you're like talking to a lead and you're like, oh, you're going to be visiting here. Let me send you a couple neighborhoods. And you don't want to sit and write the whole dissertation about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. And I loved your one about responding to a D personality or a C or an I.
Yes.
I never even thought of that, and that's amazing. So
it is, because if you're talking on their wavelength, I mean, you're 5 steps ahead of the game, you know, and they feel like you, as their real estate agent, you understand them. You know, it's just, we all have different personalities, but if you can meet somebody where they're at and talk in their language, you know, the results are so much better.
And you can use it for, what's the program that you've been using, Brandon, internally?
Well, a lot of us use ChatGPT, but the program, I have to look at my program.
Where you're sort of profiling personalities? And,
or the other one.
You're talking about Working Genius?
Yes, you could use that as an example.
Yeah, that's actually a great example.
Yeah, because I know you have that rolled out as a group, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
One thing to note, when they developed ChatGPT, they took all the technology out there on the internet through the end of September 2021. Sometimes you will, you know, you got to read the responses. You never want to copy and paste. You probably might want to shorten things. You might want to add some of your own personal flair. But sometimes you might find something, that a response that comes back that maybe isn't as up to date, because when it was developed through 2021. Here are some uses for you specifically as a real estate agent. And we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper. Social media obviously is huge, and we'll get into that. Campaigns, ideas, all of that. Listings. I don't know about you, but obviously I'm in the mortgage business. I'm a numbers person. Where I lack and what I try to stay away from, I hate to write. I don't want to write descriptions. I don't want to write newsletters. Like, that is just, it's not my jam, I'll be honest. So this is a kind of a lifesaver, because I can write descriptions. I can write newsletters. Same thing for you. Listings. You can have it help you create video content, you know, for whether it's normal social media or you want to start doing YouTube. Email campaigns, and again, newsletters. A lot of real estate agents like to send monthly newsletters, and this literally can create all the content for you. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the different uses of social media, the different platforms. But again, you can even set things up for campaigns. So you might say, I want to do a 30-day campaign on Facebook, specifically targeting my real estate business in, you know, targeting Wake Forest or targeting Cary, North Carolina. I want you to help me create hashtags. And again, as we talked about in the beginning, once it comes back, which will be probably within 30 to 40 seconds, you can review it and then say, you know, let's add some humor to it. Can you make it more professional? Can you make it shorter? All those until you get it exactly how you want it. So let's kind of dig into Facebook a little bit. Some of the things that I think are highlights. I'm not going to read through every single one of these, but again, what are some uses to help me increase my engagement on my posts? As a real estate agent, the more people that you can get to engage with you, the more it keeps your posts relevant and showing in everybody's feeds. And you want to create content, but you also want it to be engaging. How can I create, you know, a real estate Facebook page. A lot of people do it through their personal page, but some of you might be thinking about having a separate real estate professional business page on Facebook. Also, you might have a listing. A great thing would be, how can I make this listing attract more attention? What are some ways to help me engage on other people's posts? What are some great comments? What are some ways to help manage my Facebook feed? So you don't just have to use ChatGPT to create content. You can use it as, a marketing manager for your business. You can ask them how to manage your posts, come up with strategies for the business, measure the success on your different marketing campaigns. So, and you can do that across the board on all social media platforms. And with Instagram, this is probably, a lot of you connect your Instagram and Facebook, but I think Instagram is probably almost even used more frequently by realtors. But again, highlighting a few things. How can you effectively use Instagram stories to engage and promote your real estate business? Help me create some compelling captions. Best practices on the use of hashtags, which are very popular. Also advertising. You can boost your posts on Instagram. You can get in and ask the question and get some great responses on ChatGPT on how to use the paid advertising features. If you haven't done it yet, you can learn about it through here and get the best advice on how to use it to promote your real estate and and really go after your targeted audiences. Also, Reels is very popular on Instagram. You can ask creative ways to showcase and come up with content for Instagram Reels. And again, back to what we talked about, when we were getting into Facebook, you can say, help me create content for Instagram Reels for 30 days, or give me, 20 ideas for Instagram Reels. And you can save it, and then when you're getting ready to knock some of those out, you have a whole catalog of ideas, and you can film them all at once and just post them at various times. Same thing with YouTube. I know Tina's really big on YouTube. This is a great platform to promote your business. Again, video ideas, catchy videos that make you stand out, content ideas. One thing is, you probably want to think about asking, how do I drive people through my YouTube videos and content to drive more traffic to my actual website? Give me video scripts to use on YouTube. Give me ideas for promoting a specific town. Maybe you want to do a whole video on Cary, North Carolina. What are some ideas for that? And you could even do that for multiple areas. And everybody's favorite, TikTok. TikTok's not just for entertainment. You can be using this for your business as well. So I know a lot of you are. A lot of you, maybe are scared or haven't dove into creating your own TikTok videos yet. But this can get you up and off the ground. It's very similar to Reels. But again, the more social platforms you use, the more you're going to expand your brand. So again, same things, catchy, TikToks, videos, and Reels. The other thing you might want to say in a prompt is they need to be short. So give me content or give me scripts that are under 45 seconds. You want to be cognizant of the time. YouTube is different. You can do a whole YouTube video that's 30 minutes long, but it's a different platform. So again, you want engaging things, and you want to maybe push people. Again, use the prompt, how can I use this to drive more traffic back to my website? Do's and don'ts. You can use that do's and don't prompt on any of these social media platforms, specifically to realtors. What are do's and don'ts for TikTok marketing for a real estate agent? LinkedIn, which I should, LinkedIn also, we can say, we'll talk about Twitter and now Threads, which is really popular next. But LinkedIn is a different, more professional type platform. But again, the more, if you can get content on every single platform out there, the better off you are. So you want to, you might even want to use a prompt to redo your whole LinkedIn profile to attract more potential clients and partners in real estate. Again, the partner option, especially with the EXP model, is huge. So that would be a great prompt on some of these social media platforms. LinkedIn, a lot of people go to for jobs, but you can use this on Facebook as well. YouTube, you might want to focus on how can I attract real estate partners, because with the EXP model, it's so pro expanding your partnerships. So great opportunity to use that for with ChatGPT. Also, blog posts. A lot of you like to blog or have articles that people can access. You can use prompts for that as well. And if you don't even understand really on any of these platforms how the analytics are used, you can do a prompt for any one of these websites, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and ask ChatGPT, how are the analytics derived? How does that all work? And it'll break it down for you. Twitter, which I probably should say Threads now, because I think that's gaining popularity, and I know a lot of you have already seen out there on Threads. Same exact thing. How can you optimize your profile more specifically to attract potential home buyers and home sellers? How can you use Threads and Twitter to build your brand in real estate on these platforms? And how can you come up with compelling content on Threads or Twitter that is resonating with people and gets the conversation moving? These Twitter and Threads is sort of you're posting content, but it's more of an interactive type of platform where you want people to respond and the conversations to kind of keep going based on maybe what you've posted. So getting compelling content or interactive are great prompts to ask. And again, do's and don'ts. I would do a do's and don'ts on every single one of these platforms, specifically for a real estate agent. All right, and this is probably, I think a lot of you that have already discovered ChatGPT have probably started with listings. Would you say that's common, Brandon? Yes.
I think almost every agent on this.
Yeah, so this is probably the easiest time saver of them all for you as a real estate agent. So the social media is great, but creating your listings and the descriptions is probably the number one place most real estate agents start. You can literally make it easy on you. Maybe you already have a listing. You can literally put in a current MLS description. You can type it into the prompt and ask it to update and refresh it. And you can use descriptions in your prompt, like write this description for this listing and wow people online with it. You can, and it's gonna, sometimes I find that ChatGPT can be a little lengthy. Again, it spits something back and say, can you make this, 2 sentences shorter, or you can copy and paste it and delete things. But it's the language they use for the listing descriptions. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. It makes you want to buy the house. Don't you find like it's,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's why we use it.
Yes, so I have a feeling that's probably where most of you will start. Videos, again, when you're creating videos for listings, it can come up with the scripts. You can kind of describe the house, it's on a cul-de-sac or it's got a beautiful private backyard, and ask ChatGPT to give you scripts based on the specifics of your listing. Because a lot of people, I know myself in particular, sometimes when I'm doing a video, I get a little tongue-tied or I can't come up with the words. So if you sort of have, a background idea of a script to go with the property, it just sort of keeps the video flowing. So, again, kind of digging in a little bit deeper, a lot of you realtors, in addition to doing videos on a specific listing, call team is amazing at this. They love to do like really fun videos, like a day in the life video that shows, everything from, the cleaners didn't show up, here I am in my scrubs, right the day before closing, and then the end of the video, one of them is all dressed up and ready to go to the closing. Like, the down and dirty to the upside of being a realtor is really kind of a fun video. And I think as you're creating and growing your content online, you don't want to just have all listing videos. You want to show some variety. You might ask it to help create videos, like you might want to showcase the Preston area or downtown Cary, which has had so much growth, and gosh, it's really transformed over the last couple of years. You want to kind of vary your video content as you're creating your brand. You might want to feature a new restaurant that just opened. And again, you can use ChatGPT for all of this to help you with great scripts. Once you have the idea, have it help define the scripts for you. And also come up with just more general ideas. And we've talked about a lot, but help it expand on that for you. One thing that I love is, if you look at the last one, number 10, have it help you create a script that educates. Educational videos are huge. The more you can put some of those out there, people find value in that content. So, create a video for a first-time home buyer that describes the home buying process, or help me create a video script to discuss the process from when my client goes under contract to when they close. What can they expect in that timeline? Again, you definitely want to do a variety, and immersing some of these educational videos really makes you look like sort of a leader in an industry, like somebody that people want to pay attention and start following you on these platforms because you're giving them great information to use. All right, this is probably, if I was a real estate agent, where I personally would be using ChatGPT the most, because this is the part that I'm just not wired to love writing. So I want to be in front of numbers. That's where my go-to is. So getting into email, drip campaigns, email marketing, newsletters, all of that, this is a phenomenal platform to use that. You can have them create personalized email templates, drip campaigns. You can ask them to give you customized content for my luxury buyers. Create an email marketing campaign for a prospective buyer that is a first-time home buyer. You can target it and break down these campaigns for different types of categories of buyers that you have. One thing that's huge in this area, transplants. People are moving here nonstop. Create an email marketing campaign for me that's specific to people relocating to the Triangle. And then you can take it further. As we dig into this a little bit more, you can use those same categories for newsletters. Maybe you decide to create general newsletters, and maybe you do some targeted newsletter. Like this group of newsletters is going to my first-time home buyers. This newsletter is going to my database of people that are in my pipeline that are going to be moving to the triangle. The other thing I think is great with the marketing piece is this call to action suggestions. You want people to act. So you should put into ChatGPT effective ask for call to action statements to be included in these emails so that they're responding, they're reacting, and they're being called to action based on what you have sent them. That is huge. And again, I hit on this a little bit already, but the drip campaigns, the more you can stay on top of your database that is out there, maybe not actively looking in the last couple of weeks, it's really important to let those people not fall through the cracks. I know not everybody is on a large team at Freedom. A lot of you are individual agents, so you might not have the advantages of ISAs and some of these systems in place that are automatically dripping on your database. But this is where ChatGPT can help set this up for you, so you can create all the content and maybe just set it and forget it, or every Friday, depending on the group of clients in your potential clients in your database, they're getting this email. 2 weeks later, they're getting this one, but it can help create it for you. And again, the popular newsletter. This is really, I get a lot of newsletters from my realtor partners because I'm on those lists. And, you want these to be engaging. It's a way for you to constantly keep your name in front of your prospective buyers, but even maybe more important, your past clients. You need to drip on everybody because, your past clients are your potential new clients. People move all the time. They think about second homes. They think about investment properties in this area. You need to keep your name in front of them, but you don't want your newsletter all of a sudden just, being trash. You want to keep it fresh, appealing. You might want some homeowner tips put in there, some great, photo content. You might ask ChatGPT to come up with creative things for your newsletter based on the time of the year, like we're heading into fall, or what are some great tips around the holidays to include as a real estate professional marketing past clients. These newsletters should be sort of fun to read. You might also want it to kind of highlight what's happening in the triangle. There's so much growth and so much excitement coming here. You can do a newsletter that's a mix of everything to increase the odds that your clients or potential clients, when they receive this every month, they actually look forward to reading it. Also, once you have all the content, go back to ChatGPT and have them organize and format it for you. What's the best way to make this, easy to read, make it stand out, make it mobile friendly? A lot of people read this stuff on their smartphones. Images, bullet points, all of that. Make it the most visually appealing to your clients as possible. Again, you can also ask ChatGPT to help with tracking all of this. How can you help me with open rates, click-through rates, performance metrics? I mean, really, honestly, the sky is the limit. Or maybe you're totally opposite of me and you actually love to write. So you write your own newsletters. You could plug the whole thing in and have ChatGPT proofread it for you. That wouldn't be me, but there are some of you enjoy that and are really good at it.
Well, that brings up a good point too, right? We do have to proofread the material that we receive from ChatGPT also.
I just asked ChatGPT, Kendra,
Yeah.
because I invested in Greenville, South Carolina about
Yeah.
rental yields.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, why do you, want to invest in Greenville? And I said, well, I just think it's the next hot spot. So it's just showing us like rental yields in each city in and around Greenville. And I think, again, the capacity to analyze data in such a broad spectrum, like I don't care how genius you are or how you know an area, that's the big thing that I love using it, like just fast, decision making from so many multiple sources that it can pull together. So very cool.
What else have you been using for it, Tina? As the best realtor we know out there, obviously you were an early adapter to this. What other uses have you really loved this platform for? Just curious.
I mean, literally, like everything. I mean, from speaking to one another to responding to clients to helping our agents do really amazing, descriptions for pictures. Brandon, what else? I mean, there's so many things. Brandon like uses it for everything, writing a job description, for who we're specifically looking for. Maybe we're looking for a new marketing person, and we've had 2 or 3 different people, and we go, okay, we love this, and this about a marketing person, but we don't want this, and this. Create a job description that would align with that. Like you can get so specific with it. And then, like you said in the beginning, continue to just strategize about how to narrow it down and get very hyper-focused on the result. Changing tonalities of emails, like if you know that you've got a very outspoken or highly emotional client and you want to write an email and then say, make this a little more happy or exciting or whatever, if you're giving bad news, but you want to make it a little more exciting.
Right.
Yeah, so many things.
Yeah, I've used it for a couple of those uses as well. Like I wanted to hire like a college intern to sort of help with social media over the summer. And I used it to create a job description, and it was so amazing. And what I loved about it is it was so professionally written, but I also thought if the intern had that description, they could use some great content off of it to put on their resumes for when they graduate from college. I also kind of played around with it, sort of like knowing some of my core beliefs. I've said, write a mission statement for me. Like as a real estate agent, you might want to brand yourself and have a specific, mission statement that's specific to you or your team, your business. So you can actually have it help you write that. You can kind of say in this tone, or really, using the fact that integrity is huge to me, or whatever words resonate with you and you feel like the core of your business is built on. It can actually create, mission statements for you, which is pretty neat as well. Tina, have you ever used it? You do a lot of public speaking engagements in the real estate community. Have you ever used it to help you with that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, yes, everything. I mean, just like, narrowing down, like if I write a speech of some sort, or I'm doing a class, and then you can put in everything and just say, narrow this down to blank amount of words. The other thing I love is, there's plugins now where it can, like OtterBox is one of what I've always used when I go to a conference or if I'm in a mastermind and I'm recording basically everybody's voice goes into memo, and then uploading that into ChatGPT and saying, write a summary of this mastermind class. So, I mean, there's just, again, a million uses, and I'm fascinated every day, but I think it can be so overwhelming because there are so many uses,
right,
that I think that we have to just go, okay, what am I going to use it for this week or this month? And I'm going to get really good at writing descriptions and playing with it and playing with the prompts. Because I think you can go in there a couple times and just do some fun things, but getting really good at the prompts and thinking through like how do I want to use this even better, and then just playing with it for 1 week or 2 weeks on a certain thing to get proficient at it.
Yes.
Versus just like very general. Because I think everyone right now is kind of a generalist,
right.
But our people, like next week we have a guy coming to our office who's I mean, crazy good at like the prompts. And
Okay.
you and Mark should come. It's for our Tuesday meeting, but he's just fantastic. So, you know, to watch those people, that's going to be an art in and of itself. So I'm sure we'll see more prompt books and all the other things that are going to come out because of this.
The other thing that I think is great, and this might be more on a smaller scale because I know you all have perfected it on your team, but for more of the freedom builder expansion agents that are on their own or working on a very small team, all the scripting that's so important in this business.
Yeah.
You know, if you're kind of scared to pick up the phone or you really just feel more confident having sort of a script in front of you when you're telemarketing and making those calls, this is a perfect use. And you can customize it and you can change the tone, change the situations. But if I was on my own, you know, the follow-up is the key and responding and those phone calls. But I would love those templates. That just, I've always been in sales organizations that have had great training and have provided about that, just like you do for your team. But an individual agent might feel a little lost with all of that. So this is another great opportunity to utilize it, to kind of have scripts for all situations, print them out, and you're just, you know, dedicating the time to make those phone calls, but you have kind of a whole action plan to go with it.
Totally. Yeah. It's just been a wild ride. All the way.
And like I said, I hope it stays free. I don't know if it will or not, but it is right now. So if you're not playing with it as we're speaking on this call, spend the weekend when you're not showing homes, like just exploring it. And you can, again, use it just in your personal life, vacation planning, all of that. Like really the sky's the limit. You know, it's where it's going to get a little crazy. I'll tell you, they had, when they were rolling this out, they had them do an SAT test and it scored like 99.8. So the schools and the college and universities are going to struggle with this, and they are kind of cracking down and putting limitations. But you can kind of see where this this might be headed. But
absolutely.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions that's been on watching? Any uses that you guys use that you absolutely love? I haven't seen any questions come through in the chat box, but I wonder, Kendra, are these slides going to be available for us to post in our group?
So I wanted to, what's the slide with our cell phone numbers? It's kind of frozen.
You guys are having a party back there.
Yeah,
it's the onboarders. They're having a great time.
That new onboarding group, they're loud. They're having fun. I love it.
Yeah. So how I'd like to follow up, because some of you might want copies of all those prompts to kind of, you might forget what you saw. These are our cell phone numbers. Text us your name and your email address at any time. I know some of you will watch this, you know, plug and play later on. You might not be watching it live. Just say, you know, this is John. I watched your training. Here's my email. Can you please email me those prompts? Because we can't share the whole presentation, but the most important pieces, we certainly can. And I think it would really help you with all those prompt options and ideas. Just ask for what you need and we will get that out to you.
Awesome. Well, Kendra, Mark, thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank
our team
appreciate it.
and all of our clients and our agents, especially the Freedom Builders group. So we're going to post that in our group, and have an amazing weekend, guys. I know I'm excited. TGIF. Woohoo. All right, everyone.
Thank you,
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.